Um, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully it renders okay and everything turns out alright. It's not a terrible quality. The reason I'm doing this is so that you don't have to spend as much time listening to me during practice or after a game trying to figure things out. I want to stay communicating with you guys because you're the ones that make this possible. You're the ones that allow me to be in this situation, and you guys all have such great kids. Last night was a little soul crushing for me, and it was because everything that happened last night is my fault. There was a lack of organization, a lack of preparation, and just poor coaching on my part. I was not prepared for what happened last night. The kids weren't prepared, and that is 101% on me. I didn't do a good job of making sure that all the kids got an equal amount of playing time. I didn't do a good job of making sure that they understood what they were supposed to do when they got out there on the field. But I promise you right here, right now, that won't happen again. The reason I made this video is because, first of all, I want to be a little bit more efficient with your guys' time. You can watch this whenever you have time. The second reason is I want to talk about with you guys some of the changes that I'm going to make in the next week that will hopefully yield better results than the laid-back attitude that I kind of brought into this to begin with. Funny story before I go too far into the detailed stuff. My high school basketball coach was an excellent coach, and he used to, when we'd lose, and we didn't lose very often, when we'd lose, he'd call in sick the next day because he didn't sleep at all. And I used to sit there and think, man, this dude takes losing way too seriously. After last night, I didn't sleep, and I'm not ashamed to say that. It was heartbreaking for me, for those kids to look over me and say, we're losing, aren't we? And after last night, I vowed to never let that happen again. So some of the changes that I've made became on several criteria. Number one, I noticed one major issue that we're having is we really have 3 irrelevant positions on offense, and that is the 2 guard positions and the fullback position. So we're scrapping the entire offense. And what we're going to be going to is kind of a swinging gate offense. I'm going to spread everybody out the width of the field, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to see what that's going to look like. And it'll essentially give everybody out on the field equal chance to receive the ball, so they all have something to play for, and hopefully that'll keep all 6 guys involved. We'll rotate quarterbacks, we'll rotate the guys in motion, and hopefully that will give us kind of some flexibility and keep the kids involved. So that's one change that I'm going to make with the offense that I'm really excited about. It's just going to be a matter of teaching them now. The second thing I think we're going to start doing, I know me and Mark have talked about this before, is I'm going to start using visual aids. I'm going to draw up, we're going to have 2 plays. One's a pass play, one's a run play. And I'm going to draw them up, and I'm going to teach them. I'm going to go in the huddle and say, this is what we're running. And have it, whether it be on a dry erase board, a piece of paper. But those are some of the in-game changes we're going to make. So now to the more important stuff. practice. We have practice. If it's okay with you guys, I have it for 5:30 on Friday. And I've actually written down, and I will include this in the email that I'm going to send out to you guys, the practice schedule for Friday, broken down into each individual time segment. And this is kind of how I started coming into this, and I decided, you know, it was too strict. I was dealing with first and second graders, but it's become apparent to me that if we want to be competitive in this league, we're going to have to pick up the intensity. We're going to have to be a little strict and you know, really work at becoming a more disciplined football team. So I'll get there at 5:20. I'm starting practice right at 5:30. If you're not there, you're going to get left behind. We have stretches at 5:32. So the kids are going to start stretching at 5:32. We're going to be done with stretches and lines at 5:40 because I feel like that stretching and lines have been consuming too much of our time. And I really do believe that stuff is important, but I'm not going to sit here and we have too many holes for me to sit down and laugh and giggle with the kids about running the lines correctly. And then 5:40, we're going to start individuals. And what individuals are going to consist of is you as parents are going to come out there, and me and Mark and Scott are going to try to teach you parents that don't understand some of the simple concepts what we want your son to do, and then you're going to explain to them the best you can what we want to do and how we want to do it. Okay? And I think this is very important. It gets you involved with your kid, and it'll help us because it'll make our job easier. No one is better at explaining to your son, you know, how to do something than you are. You've been doing it his entire life, so he shouldn't understand anybody any better than you. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to work on this for about 20 minutes. And like I said, the highly beneficial thing I see about this offense is almost every position is going to be the same. So it should be fairly universal. There's no more teaching kids how to block, because we're going to have all 6 guys eligible, and they're all going to run out for a pass, and it's going to be a threats pass every time. So either we're going to run that, we're going to run where to throw it, and you know, we're either not going to execute, or the defense is going to have to learn to respect it and start dropping back into coverage, and that's when we start running the ball. And you'll see it come together a little bit more, especially if you watch the video I put in the description. And then we'll have team at 6 o'clock. So that's where I'll bring all 6 kids, all 9 kids together, and I'll have you guys be the scout team defense. So we'll kind of line you guys up, me, Mark, and Scott. We'll line up you guys on defense kind of where we want you, to show the kids, hey, this is what it's going to look like Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever we play next. I'm sorry. And then you guys will be there, and you'll try to kind of be a competitive match for them. 6:25, I'll break them down. 6:30, they're out of there. So our practice essentially goes from 5:30 to 6:30. Anything that we don't get done within that hour, that's on me. So we're going to be working really hard on getting the kids where they need to be and understanding what they need to be doing out there on the field. Because I didn't do a good job of that before Tuesday, and that showed. That's not going to happen again. Then, if it's okay with you guys, and I understand if it's not, I'd like to have a Sunday practice again for at least the next 2 weeks till we get this defense thing kind of figured out. Sunday again, arrive at 5:20. You know, that can change if we got some stuff going on Because I know Sunday is a really weird day for everybody, I feel like. But if you got some stuff going on, we can move the time or whatever. Just let me know. Or if you don't want to have practice on Sunday, just let me know. It'll probably set us back a little bit, but, you know, it's flag football. It's not the end of the world. But I want to see these kids be successful, and nothing broke my heart more than, you know, hearing these kids say, "Are we losing?" So Sunday we're gonna have practice again, if that's okay with you guys. Again, same simple idea. Alright, I'll be there at 5:20. I'll get everything set up. If Scout's with me, we'll get it set up that much faster. At 5:30 we're starting practice, whether you're there or not. 5:40 we go into individuals. So what we'll do is we'll work on getting the kids lined up, teaching them the position, just like we did with the offense. I think what we're going to do is a 2-3-2. So what we're going to have, does that even add up to 6? No, it doesn't. 2-3-1. And what that means is we're going to have 2 down linemen, 3 linebackers, do math much, and 1 safety. And what that's going to allow us to do is have, because I felt like we were too close to the line of scrimmage, and they were just running past us, and we couldn't get a good angle on anybody to get flags. Something we're definitely going to work on during that individual period is just grabbing and ripping flags, You know, it's just like any other football game. It all comes down to blocking and tackling to an extent. I figured out how to get past the blocking part, hopefully, where that is kind of an irrelevant aspect of what we're doing. But the tackling part, you can't get out of it. They've got to be able to pull flags, and they've got to be able to close it down in a hurry. And then 6 o'clock, we'll go into team defense. Again, parents, you'll be scout team offense, so you'll go over there. We'll show you plays. You'll run them. But what I'm really going to work on with these kids is getting a play run every 35 seconds. It's my goal in this 25-minute team period to run 26 plays. Because that's one half. We literally fit that game into an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes. And if you consider the disastrous amount of penalties that we had, that's a relatively quick game. So, you know, we need to work on picking up the tempo, because I feel like the more repetition we have and the more I get these kids running it, the more it'll just be like, hey, I go out here, it's like written on the back of my hand. And I really, really hope that you guys will love what I have in store over the next week. If you have any concerns, issues, feel free to email me, or text me, or call me, or show up at my apartment and say, Corbin, you suck as a coach, I'm firing you. No, I mean, you can do that, but that won't make me feel much better than I do now. Also, I'd like to apologize. Our rotations were a disaster, and again, that's my fault. Cameron didn't get in as much as I would have liked him to. Aaron didn't get in as much as I would have liked him to. Leo didn't get in as much as I'd have liked him to. You know, I was sitting there trying to figure out this morning, how do you divide 52 plays up amongst 9 players? And it's, you know, I don't know whose idea it was to do that math, you know, to where 52, you know, because I asked Kelly, I said, why 9? Because 9 just seems like a ridiculous amount. I mean, the least they could do is give us 2 more plays, right? So 9 times 7 is 54. So each kid would get about 7 plays a game, and that's not a lot. Man, that's not a lot. As a matter of fact, I don't think that's right, but it seems right. I'm not sure. My brain's only working at about half capacity this morning. But that's how it seemed to work out. That just doesn't seem right. Somebody more intelligent than me tell me my issues with my math. Because I know I gotta have 6 kids out there, but whatever. I would think it would be easier to just have 12 kids so you can start 6 on one side of the ball and count the plays. That's another thing during the games. I'm gonna build a rotation, but what I want one of the parents to do, and I don't care which one, Kissy, I think this would be a job that you would do, or maybe Mr. Conley, because I noticed he was really involved with what was going on. Scott, you can throw your hat in there. Sit there and mark up. Right, I'll give you a list of the players, and you sit there and just keep a tally mark of how many times each kid gets the ball, because I want each kid to touch the ball about the same amount. You know, obviously it's not gonna work out perfectly, but I don't want it to get to where, you know, we have one kid touching the ball 15 times and another kid touching the ball, you know, once. And I think we ran into that issue a little bit last game, just because it was, you know, because we were so disorganized. That's all it comes down to. And again, that's on me, and it won't happen again. A couple other changes I'm gonna make next week during the game. If we have a kid that doesn't know what he needs to be doing or is confused, I'm pulling him out, and then I'm going to explain it to him and then put him back in if need be, because we don't have time. We have 35 seconds between each play. We don't have time to sit there and explain to 3 different kids what they need to be doing. So, you know, and I laid Amari out to dry bad last night, because I haven't been teaching him center snaps at all, and I told Amari, I said, go in there and play center, and he's like, and so I laid him out to dry bad last night, and Amari, I'm sorry, that's completely on me. Amari's mom, again, sorry. To the rest of the kids, I'm sorry, because that put us 15 yards in the hole. We literally got 3 delay game penalties because I stuck somebody out there that didn't know how to snap the ball. And that won't happen again. If we get in a situation where a kid doesn't know what he's doing, I'm hoping I'll have Mark or Scott over there on the bench, or me. I don't know. We're going to figure that out in the next 2 practices, where we want each coach to be. But Mark, I just want you to know, man, you know, without you, I probably would have died last night, because without you out there, without me being able to step back and watch what was going on, I don't think I would have been able to figure out some of the issues that we're having. So hopefully this will remedy some of the issues that we have. You know, some of the rules. If we get to where in practice these kids aren't, you know, if the kids aren't running it fast enough, or they don't understand, then again, I'm going to pull them out, and I'll have Scott or Mark, because we have to go. We have to go. I don't care if we make mistakes, as long as we're running it, because we can correct mistakes. But what I can't have happen is kids standing out there. So I know I've went a little long with this video, so I'm going to cut it off. But I appreciate you guys watching. Please, please, please give me feedback, even if it's for you're lost. You need help. If that's what it is, if that's how you feel, but I know there had to be some pretty upset parents, and I'd be disappointed if there wasn't. Like I said, I'm sorry. That's 100% on me. But I promise you this, we will get better, and we will win games. I promise you that. As a coach to a parent, I'll never tell a player that we'll win games, but I'll tell you as parents that we will win games. Because we have talented kids. We will be fine. So thanks for taking the time and watching this. Like I said, I'll continue to be in touch. But I felt like I needed to make this to kind of let everybody know where my head's at and where I envision us being by next game day. It'll be a lot different, I promise. Alright, I'll talk to you guys soon, and like I said, send me feedback. I'll be disappointed in you if you don't.